Hello beautiful people, David here with some more Doki Doki Literature Club side stories. Now we got episode 4, I think. Understanding Part 2 is the name of the game right now. And we just had a kind of awkward ending to what was initially a great conversation and reading session between Sayori and Yuri. So now let's see what happens, because it looks like both of them left misunderstanding each other's feelings. And of course we know how that works out in a world like Doki Doki. For the first time, Sayori is the first to enter the club room. Was that not the case in Understanding Part 1? What I am hoping to see is like a lovely reconciliation of feelings between Yuri and Sayori. If Trust Part 2 was any indication of like how these side stories are going to be structured. Because that thing that happened between Monika and Sayori was beautiful. Check it out if you haven't. Anxiety courses through her relentlessly. Will Yuri show up today? Sitting at a desk, she stamps her feet in an attempt to calm down. Yeah, ugh. And you know, your heart hurts for these characters to see them upset, because you now know how they think at like such a deep level. And even though Sayori is really intuitive, she just can't help but direct things at herself when there's discord. Oh, look at this! Why am I letting this affect me so much? I'm doing everything I can to make Yuri happy. But my best wasn't good enough. But it was still my best. And it's funny, like, I talked about this in the end of the last episode. Normally, you would just kind of be reading this and be like, oh, she's such a worrywart. Or like, you know, like, Sayori, snap out of it. Like, you're great. And like, you kind of still feel that way. But also, there's this just added layer because you know how the initial game plays out. And you just like, every time she's like this, you just don't want to see her go further down that road, you know? I'm letting everyone down. I'm always such a disappointment. Sayori continues to wrestle with her self-deprecating thoughts. Every tiny noise causes her to lift her head in anticipation of Yuri's arrival. Oh, and these silences, they're so great. Even without the ellipsis, like, sometimes it'll just be a blank text box for, like, a beat. Minutes pass and nobody enters the club room. Not Yuri or Monika. She spent the whole club day to herself? Oh man. Gosh, I'm so late. Why did I offer to help those other students with their work? I'm such a pushover sometimes. It's going to leave such a bad impression on new club members like Yuri if I'm not the first one there. Monika rounds the corner approaching the club room, and as she does so... Yuri? Yuri jumps at the sounds of Monika's voice. Oh. These chapters should be called Misunderstanding. She's sitting outside the club room against the wall next to the door. Embarrassed, she quickly closes the book she was reading and stands up. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry I'm late. You didn't have to wait outside for me. The door to the club room is open. It's not. Yuri stammers, unable to explain herself. We don't need to, you know, she's afraid to see Sayori because she thought she disappointed her. Now making Sayori further think she's disappointing Yuri. They need to talk. They need to talk right now. I want to see it. She peers inside the club room through the window, then looks away. Actually, I was just wondering if I could help you today instead. Huh? Me? With our club publicity stuff? Yes. Monika's utterly confused. Why is Yuri asking this all of a sudden when she was so eager to spend time with Sayori before? Did they not get along after all? Monika looks into the club room herself to see Sayori sitting alone inside. Okay. It's kind of a simple job, but I'd be happy for you to tag along. Please acknowledge each other's presence. Because it's going to be even worse on Sayori if Yuri just nervously doesn't say anything to her. Me too. Monika's worried, but she finds it difficult to insert herself into whatever conflict that may have arisen. It's a little ironic, she realizes, that she could be so conflict avoidant after having been in the debate club. Okay, let's have a walk together. Take a walk together. I just have to make copies of this new flyer, then go around the billboards and replace the old ones with the new ones. Yuri nods and the two set off. Oh, you can't leave the girl by herself. The two walk in silence. Without Sayori, Monika finds it quite difficult to strike up a conversation. So, how's everything been going? Fine. That's good. Neither of them follow up with anything more. Literally, how many times have you had a conversation with someone like this? Monika tenses up at the stinted conversation. How the heck does Sayori do it? Sorry I didn't see you yesterday. I went straight to the computer clab to work on the flyers. Sayori told me. What did you two end up doing yesterday? Just some reading. Oh, I'm glad. It's really starting to feel more like a literature club now. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I felt so intimidated at first when I heard about the kind of reading you were into. But you know, it's kind of stupid of me because I'm just intimidated by things that I'm not good at. It's silly to assume that everyone who comes to the club will just have the same interests as me. But it's so cool that you were able to get Sayori into it. It's like the club is working, and I'm really happy about it. She's not into it. Huh? She's not into it, and I'm stupid for forcing it onto her. Yuri falls silent again, as if she started her thought, but can't figure out how to continue it. Okay, it's on you, Monika. I am putting all my eggs in your basket. Awkward as that sounds, but Monika has to be the one to understand Sayori well enough after their intense, emotional conversation in the trust chapters to understand that Yuri is misinterpreting how Sayori probably felt and that she can fix this. Monika, please fix this. You're the club president and you're awesome. Did something happen? Huh. No, it's just me. I'm thinking. Oh, those silences. A moment passes in silence and Yuri shakes her head. I should be complaining to you all of a sudden. Don't be silly, I don't think you're complaining. I just want to make sure you feel welcome. If it's important to that, then you can tell me anything. Well, I do feel welcome. Too welcome, I guess. It's not an issue with the club, it's just an issue with me. So I feel wrong to inconvenience you with it. Oh, man! I talked about this, how for Monika, it's so tough holding people's baggage. And in my friend group in college, in one of my friend groups, because I was kind of a floater, I found myself in a friend group that not everyone, but like a lot of people ended up confiding in me about stuff. And it's just a lot to hold on to. The brunt of other people's emotions. Not saying I don't appreciate that they were willing to be vulnerable and tell me, but man, it's a lot to hold on to other people's emotions, it's even for like one conversation, and then you're holding their secrets, and it's a responsibility, and it's a lot. It can be a lot. I wouldn't wish it any other way, though. I am thankful to be that person for someone else, because not everyone can be that person. Monika pauses and thinks. Well, what if we put it this way? It's my job as the president to understand the needs of the club members, right? We're going to have all kinds of people joining this club. Hopefully, anyway. And learning about the diverse needs and interests of everyone will help me come up with club activities that everyone can be happy with. That everyone can be happy with? Not just only some people? Of course. I need to be looking out for everyone. Otherwise, what kind of club would it be? I see. Yuri looks a little more relaxed. It signals to Monika that switching from a sympathetic approach to a pragmatic one was a good choice. If each individual truly does have their own needs. Okay. Yuri takes a deep breath. I'm a really weird and awkward person. I've accepted that about myself. I just don't know how to, connect with other people. How is it so easy for everyone else? How do you just make conversation about any arbitrary topic? I can talk for hours about the things I'm into, unfortunately so much that I don't know when to stop. But for anything else, I just have no idea what to say. So I understand that about myself. I'm just not good with people. I can't help it. And we're really, honestly, what I like about this too is that these side stories are fleshing out a realistic approach to why these characters end up tropey in the dating sim part of it. It's really fun. So it feels like whenever I'm confronted with a new social situation, I'm either ignored or made fun of or taken pity on. And Sayori falls into that third category. What? Hold on, you're saying that Sayori is taking pity on you? No, you're not. I just wanted to be treated like a normal person. If you don't like me or you don't connect with my interests, then just tell me. I can accept that and move on. Sayori is too nice to me. I'm too stupid for not realizing that she would go on with whatever I pushed onto her. Nobody deserves to put themselves through that kind of discomfort, just because they pity some weirdo who doesn't know how to make friends. It's the worst feeling, I hate it. Yuri's sharp words cut through the intense air. Somewhere in the middle of the conversation, the two stop short in the hallway, prioritizing the conversation over their original task. Monika looks at Yuri. Yuri only looks down with her fists clenched. I think you should tell her that. I could never say that to someone's face. It's pathetic. Sayori is different. Making people happy is the most important thing to her. I'm sure that's all she's trying to do. So if you're able to explain to her what makes you happy, then she'll do anything to make it happen. That's the problem. Oh, Monika's spitting truth! And she's doing her job! Let's see what Yuri says now. What kind of friendship has one person always trying to cater to the other person's weird needs? I'm sorry, I'm always making myself sound so... No, I think I'm starting to understand. Monika hesitates to finish her thought out loud. It's something Sayori would be able to say better. Sayori is someone who will give anyone however much kindness they need in order to smile. But Yuri, who has difficulty accepting kindness, must be driving Sayori to be even more assertive in her kindness, further exacerbating the matter. Yeah, vicious cycles, man! Neither person is to blame, but it's an issue that can't be resolved without the two of them understanding each other better, which is why Monika is the best. Sayori wants to be your friend. I promise that. It's okay for different people to have different needs. I mean, Sayori, she has her own needs too. Yes! Thank you, Monika! This is why I love you! But good friends work together and can be what they need for each other. You just have to be good you have to be good communication. Unlike David. You just have to have good communication and talk about it. I don't have good communication. Well, now's the time to start. Kicks her through the door. Yuri stops and shakes her head. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. My head is just... It's so resistant to everything. I'm pushing such a kind person away from me because of it. Yuri pauses to think. I'm so tired of the cycle I'm creating for myself. I'm so afraid of pushing people... Pushing me... Jesus Christ. I'm so afraid of people pushing me away that I just push them away first. How thoughtless and immature of me. Yuri takes a deep breath and exhales. I didn't mean for this to turn into a whole venting session. But I understand now that I just need to communicate better with her. You're totally fine. It's for the club, remember? You're just helping make the club a better place for everyone. Yeah. Yuri falls silent again. She looks like she wants to say something. This kind of critical thinking is something I'm really bad at. You know, about people. So thank you. Anytime. Monika smiles at Yuri. For a moment, Yuri finds it in herself to meet Monika's gaze, returning a shy smile of her own. Okay, talk to Sayori before she gets more upset. Please! Yuri and Monika finish replacing the old flyers with the new ones. More accurately, Monika did most of the work while Yuri followed along. Are you still leaving poor Sayori in the room by herself? But as the club room once again draws near, so does Yuri's confrontation. I can't do this. Yes, you can. It'll be great. Yuri sighs and shakes her head. I'm never going to feel confident enough. I just have to do it. If I don't do it now, I never will. Yuri starts towards the door, but turns to face Monika. You're not just going to wait outside, are you? Huh, I can take a walk. Want me to get you coffee or something? Actually, I prefer tea. I like to make my own though, so please don't worry about it. I'm glad Monika's not the type of person that would take offense to that. Although I suppose that's one downside of reading here in the club. I don't get to drink tea while reading. Sorry, I guess that has nothing to do with this. You know, now that you mention it, I bet we could get permission to keep stuff for tea in the club room. You could use like an electric kettle to heat up water, right? Would that really be possible? I'll look into it. I think it'd be great. Yuri smiles and nods at the thought. Well, I'll be back in a bit. Good luck. Monika waves at Yuri, then turns around and departs down the hallway as Yuri's smile fades once more. A moment of daydreaming about tea isn't enough to save her from the anxiety of the test that lies before her. In my high school, we were not able to get coffee anywhere. I don't know if there's like a thing about you can't give kids in high school coffee, but there was nowhere to get coffee when I was a kid. Well, when I was in high school. It's just something that stands out to me. Because I love coffee. That's when I first got into it. And I went to go to Dunkin' Donuts and got French vanilla. But it must be done. Taking one more deep breath, Yuri timidly opens the clubroom door. I'm sure I missed the line, but I understand this whole context. Oh, I'm ready to get skewered in the heart! In the feels! Yuri! Wait, hold on, I'm not done yet. Sarah shuffles a bunch of papers around. Oh, was she writing poetry? Yuri stammers, her words suddenly caught in her throat. At that moment, she realizes how Sayori has been spending her afternoon. I wasn't expecting you to come today. I was really hoping to make it all the way through the next chapter first. I got most of the way through it. Wow. Okay, so she's taking notes on the book, probably. And look! Sayori holds up a sheet of paper. It's a page of notes, beautifully produced with indentations, categories, and even color coding. As Yuri sees it, her expression shifts from anxiety to despair. I was afraid you were getting disappointed in me, so I've been trying really hard. Stop. Yuri presses her fists against her forehead. Please stop. I can't take this. Yuri? Sayori's voice quivers in shock after receiving the exact opposite response she was expecting. Alright, I hope this reconciles okay. I just need them to talk to each other, that's all we need. We need them to just communicate openly and honestly. So, Yuri, please, ball's in your court, just start saying what you were gonna say. I'm sorry. Sayori looks away in guilt. Did I do something wrong? I don't understand. If I did something wrong, please tell me. Yuri shakes her head. No, it's me. I keep putting myself in these situations where people are afraid to treat me normally. If you don't like this kind of reading, it's okay. Please just tell me. I don't need to be treated differently just because I'm weird. But I don't treat you differently. I just want my friends to be happy. So I thought that if we did something together that you really like... I don't want your pity. Oh, she's a little confrontational. Let's see how this turns out. Oh, your instant regret? Why did I do that? Yuri sinks to her knees. Her voice squeaks. I'm sorry. Tears of guilt and self-loathing begin to stream down her face. Feels! We're gonna get a picture, aren't we? We're gonna get a picture that's gonna hit me in the feels! This isn't how it was supposed to go. Why is it just so hard to articulate your thoughts? Why do you end up pushing everyone away from you? Yuri's mind pounds with internal accusations as she shuts her eyes, unable to face Sayori or the rest of the world. She should just leave, or escape from here, before Monika sees her like this, and before Sayori tells Monika what she did. But before Yuri can put any strength into her legs, she feels a warm pair of arms gently wrap around her from behind. Oh, cute! It's okay. Sayori whispers in a soothing voice. It's okay. It's okay. Overcome by despair, Yuri finds herself unable to protest or pull away from Sayori's kind gesture. Yuri sniffles, breathing heavily through a clenched throat, trying with all her willpower to control herself. I understand. I understand the things you're feeling in your head are different from the things you're trying to say. I know that must be what you're feeling right now. I promise I understand that. Oh yeah, she does. So I'll give you as much time as you need. When you're ready, just tell me your feelings and we'll talk about them together. Okay? Yuri sniffles again and nods her head. She gives herself a minute to compose her thoughts, then speaks while steadying her voice. I think that I've gotten so used to people being weirded out by me that it feels like anyone who's nice to me is doing it out of pity. I'm so horrible with people. So it makes me not want to believe that someone can actually like me for who I am. Yuri pauses, but Sayori doesn't interrupt. Rather, she waits for Yuri to continue. I got so excited when I joined the literature club. I thought that was finally my chance to make friends through my interests. Because my interests are the only things I know how to talk about. It's all I have going for me. But then whenever I catch myself getting overly obsessive in front of other people, it feels like I'm making a fool of myself. I hate myself for it. Ultimately, I just want to be treated like a normal person, but how am I supposed to expect that when I can't behave like one? I just want to learn how to get along with people and stop ruining things for myself. That's all. Yuri finishes her thoughts, feeling more steady after having gotten them out. Sayori, who can feel Yuri's breath, rise and fall from beneath her arms, realizes that as well. Thank you for helping me understand you a little bit better. You know, you were so great at helping me while we were reading. So I'll help you with the things that you need too. But, oh, her eyes! Oh, that was cool. I feel like it would just be frustrating for you, with how much patience I require sometimes. Heh, it sounds kind of familiar. I couldn't stop worrying about that while we were reading. I was so afraid you would get frustrated with me. But I would never do that. I did my best to reassure you by mentioning how I have a lot of patience. Yeah, I know, but my irrational fears just won't be quiet sometimes. I'm pretty sure Yuri can empathize with that. She's gotta be able to. I'm sure it's the same for you, right? Yeah. Irrational fears. Well, you know, there's no way that you could frustrate with me, because I already like you as the person that you are. I know you said you had a hard time believing that, but I promise that it's true. You don't have to be a social person for people to like you. I think you're really considerate in your own way, you know? Worrying so much about other people's feelings. We're all kind of weird. It's a literature club, but it's the best part is that we're all different and have different interests. Like about the book. I'm reading it because I want to, I promise. That's what I really want. It's a bit of a struggle, but try not to mistake that for me not enjoying it. I mean, we could never discover new things if we didn't try them first, right? I want to learn the reasons that you love it so much. And in the end, if it's not for me, then I can say that, but I'll be glad that I tried it and learned more about you. Plus, you're like super duper smart, and I want that to rub off on me. Sayori, you are a genius. You're an intuitive genius. Yuri fights back a smile at that comment. Already the heavy atmosphere surrounding her seems to have evaporated through the caress of Sayori's arms. Man, this just makes me hate the main character that much more. From the main game. Oh god, we're probably gonna... Natsuki's is probably gonna really hurt. Because, Natsuki was probably my favorite when I thought this game was a basic, like, dating simulator, like when it's presenting itself as a basic simulator, like of the people you're forced to go after. Natsuki was probably the one that wasn't Monika. Your hair is so pretty. I always wanted long hair, but I was awful at taking care of it, so I cut it all off. Sayori, you would look freaking gorgeous with long hair. In fact, you'd kind of look like Monika with long hair. Yuri's tension relaxes. For once, she feels okay listening, rather than worrying about saying the right thing. Sayori, sensing Yuri's comfort, lets her rest. It must be so difficult for her to feel relaxed around other people. But if the Literature Club can make it happen, then it's something she deserves to experience. Yay! That's so sweet! Man, it makes me want to go back to high school and start a club. And have this in mind. It's basically therapy. I love it. Well then, based on my understanding of your feelings, I suppose I wouldn't mind if we were to continue reading. That's what I wanted to hear. But we can stop at any time. If you truly don't like it, please be honest about it. I won't be offended. Of course. I'm not going to judge anything this early on, though, so we'll just see what happens. Oh, and, it's not good to touch people without their consent first. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. Oh, you didn't. I mean, I suppose it was kind of nice. I was just saying. I wonder if that will come in. Such a Monika moment. I'm back! Monika's back! I haven't seen you, like, at all recently. Sayori trots over to Monika. She whispers loudly, "Can I hug you?" Sure, Sayori. Sayori wraps her arms around Monika. Oh yeah, Yuri, it might be good to know. Honestly, another reason why I can relate to Sayori, I'm also a touchy-feely person. I've gotten a lot better with it, especially with COVID. But, like, you know, when you meet people, or like, I was at Vegas recently for a martial arts convention. I got to see people that I haven't seen in like 2 years, 3 years. And so, you know, when I saw people for the first time, I just had to be like, "Are you hugging? Okay, great," you know? And we would have like a thing. Alright. Oh, Yuri might be good to know. Sayori can be kind of a hug monster. I found out. Hey, don't call me a monster. Artemis is a monster. If he inherits the kingdom, it could spell disaster. Yuri laughs. Monika looks perplexedly between the two of them, then smiles. Well, I'm glad you've been enjoying your reading so far. It's like our first real activity as a literature club. Oh, about that. Well, you've been so patient with exploring my interests. I think that it would be inconsiderate of me to not return the favor for you and learn about the things that you like. Yes! Do you like poetry? Yay! Yuri smiles. Awesome! Awesome! Wait, okay, so I need to know if I unlocked the next ones. Also, let's do this. This will make my life so much easier. And I don't have to put it in post! Alright. Oh no, I don't have it! That means I gotta play the game more. So I'm guessing I just need to play the game again. Because I've actually played through the game once. You know, got to the end, just Monika, all that stuff. Oh, I still need to wrap it up, actually. Oh, maybe it'll happen after that. But I'm guessing the next stuff is Natsuki, so either I have to beat the game properly... Oh, okay, this is really easy! So, to get Natsuki's, I probably just need to... pursue her. I didn't even realize this. To get all 6, try writing poems for different characters and viewing their special scenes. I'm so stupid, because you're forced to watch Yuri's special scenes in the second go-around anyway. That's why I unlocked hers. Natsuki, we just gotta pursue her, and we'll get that stuff. So, now it's Dave out, peace out. I'm on track, even though I got distracted.